which, if your book is open, is page 193. A proportion, highlighted in your book, is an equation stating that two ratios are equal. I'm going to shorthand the word equation. Don't do it if it doesn't make sense to you. So it looks like this, right? And these are all numbers, or since we're in 7th grade and we're working with some pre-algebra / algebra, sometimes they'll be letters. Okay, but there's something in the numerator, denominator for both sides. For example, if you have 10 twelfths and 40 56, in a proportion it looks like this. They're set equal to one another. And we get to determine if yes, it's a proportion, yes, those two ratios are equal, or no, it's not proportional because the two ratios are not equal. There's two ways to determine that. The first one is just to reduce both sides. If I reduce 10 twelfths, divide them both by 2, I get 5 6. And then for the right side, I know they're supposed to be close or equal, so I'm going to use the 5 6 as a clue, right? If there's a 5 on the top, 40 divided by what gives me 5? Peter? 8. So I'm going to divide by 8. Does 56 go, can it be divided by 8? What is it? So I have divide by 8, I get 5 on top. If I divide by 8, I get 7 on the bottom. Is this a proportion? Is it equal? Not a proportion. These two are not. I feel like it was Nora. You really like this symbol, the equal sign with the line through it. Yeah. Now we get to use it. Yeah. So it's not really an inequality, but it is helpful for when you're saying something is not true. Okay, so you can write the word or you can show me the sign. Okay, so one way. One way to check is to reduce. Now we're going to do one the other way. Lucas, can you see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other type of way they're going to ask is do the ratios form a proportion? And then they're going to give you two ratios, 5/9, comma, 30 54ths. The other way to solve is to cross multiply. We're going to find the cross products. And this is going to be more helpful to get down the second way, because this is what we'll need to do when we do have some variables, which we're moving on to in this chapter. Okay? So the first thing I would do is set it up as a proportion. Nothing changes, you just add the equal sign in the middle. Keep the same numbers with the same. What are cross products? Claire?
Is it when if one of the numbers and other polynomial both of them divides into a numerator on the other one, you can cross them both out and add them how many times that the smaller number goes into the other one.
So, and that's actually what I was going to do to try to help is that's cross canceling. You know, when you multiply a bunch of fractions and you can reduce them, right? If one's on the top and one's on the bottom, you can cross cancel them. You can divide them both by 2 or divide them both by 3 if 3 goes into both the numbers. Do you remember that from last year? So this is like that, but reverse. Instead of shrinking the numbers, we're multiplying, right? We're literally cross multiplying. So we're going to take the numbers that are across from each other, 5 and 54, and also 9 and 30, and we're going to multiply them. When you have a proportion, the cross products, if it's a true proportion, are equal. So 5 times 54, we're going to check, we're going to do the math to see if that's the same thing as 30 times 9. Does anybody have 5 times 54? What is it? Gianna? 270? Yeah. And what's 30 times 9? 270. What can you tell me about these ratios? They are. They are proportional. They are equal, which means yes, they are proportional. Let's do another cross product. 6/10, I'm not going to rewrite the word part, right? But 6/10 and 24 over 42. When we set this up as a proportion, the numbers stay with each other and we only add an equal sign. And instead of worrying about reducing, and again, we're doing this because soon one of these numbers is going to be replaced with an X. So we won't know all 4. And in order to solve, we'll have to find the cross product. So we want to build this today so that we understand how to solve it in the future. So I'm going to do 6 times 42 because that's what is across from each other. Those are the cross products for that first one. And then the second one, I have 10 times 24. What is 6 times 42? Dom, what'd you get? 252. Do we agree? Yeah. And what is 10 times 24? Claire?
240.
Are those equal?
No.
No, this is not a proportion. Okay? Not a proportion. How do we feel about these? Are you guys ready to do them on your whiteboards? Great.